goes to blows and I'm away.
Yo, what's going on, peeps? It is me, the Ninja Reviewer here. Time for another exciting review of the one. It's back once again, the greatness of Jojo's Fighting Gold. Yeah, Fighting Gold. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind Episode 3 review. So, oh man, when it comes to this quality episode of Jojo right here, oh boy. So basically, in this episode, Bruno finally introduces Giorno, the boss of the actual mafia organization that Bruno was in. So basically, we see that, you know, it says, okay, it's pretty much just like any other job interview. Like, they have to see exactly how your requirements are going to be, and exactly like how, you know, it's pretty much like any other job interview to make sure that you can actually provide or do certain kinds of tests. Like, you know, basically how like every other job they make you do a drug test and stuff like that. This time it's a test of trust. Now this is a completely different level, and of course, you know, obviously when it becomes like this big giant fortress wall, we have the actual leader of the actual mafia gangster group actually there. And what happens is that while he's finally at the actual place, you know, there's a whole bunch of police and like everybody else that's around them pretty much, and basically, you know, making sure that everything's okay to go, make sure he's not carrying anything in order to actually, you know, take him out by any chance necessary. And also he's trying to actually hide himself from being a stand user, so that way he doesn't know, or trying for him to sense his presence of Giorno to actually take him out. Because the thing is, deep down, Giorno wants to have a place where he wants to rule this entire city, or this entire city or country of Italy, where, you know, when it comes to like gangs that run the city, like these gangs aren't for like basically drug dealers and stuff like that, and like making other people suffer. They're pretty much there just to help the needy or whoever they need. Pretty much like the Robin Hood, pretty much kind of ordeal that he wants. Like his golden dream is pretty much for them to live like a really good life, for people, like for gangsters, for actually to help out the community instead of pretty much just like making bad reputations of them being assassinated and stuff like that, etc. Like he wants like that kind of life when it comes to, you know, a mafia sort of. That's why he wants to become a gangstar. Obviously not a gangster, a gangstar. So the gang leader, Popo, so like Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z, you know, Dragon Ball in general. Kind of, well, I think it's like Popo. It's like Popol, I believe, or something like that. I don't know. I believe that's what it is. But anyways, so yeah. So when it comes to that, so we have that, and this dude is just absolutely creepy. This dude is like chilling in a like somewhat of a jail cell, sort of. He has like wine and some kind of cracker thing or something like that. Hold on. So the gangster, pretty much like what he is basically, this person's like, okay, it's pretty much an interview, and with this pretty much this interview, it's okay. You know what? How about we'll actually give you some kind of test. It's like, yo, you want to join me for some crackers, some wine? But he's like, well, I heard I'm not supposed to basically take anything or accept anything from you. That's what he was saying. So basically, he says like, well, we can't really, because I'm supposed to not supposed to do that. But like, oh, they just, you know, say that, you know, just for security purposes. But in reality, that's pretty much how you're supposed to pass my test regardless. So here's what I'm going to give you. This is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you this lighter, and you're supposed to keep this lighter safe, pretty much. Make sure you keep it, and you keep it light for 24 hours. If you do that, then you're fully trustworthy. You get the job. However, though, if you fail this, then you cannot work in the organization, obviously. So you're like, oh, you know, it's an easy cakewalk. You know, you got to, you know, pretty much use like a lighter in order to actually do, you know, to actually make sure it doesn't go out. But think again. What happens is that pretty much it's much harder, especially from all the tasks that he has to do. I never thought like someone actually holding a lighter, a fire, pretty much in a very, can be so intense yet so enjoyable at the same time. Also, it's really cool that Koichi actually returned. Yay, Koichi pretty much. Well, there's this one scene where Koichi was actually trying to find his passport because he needed to go back to Japan. While his other stuff may be taken, at least he'll be able to have that particular item in order to go back home. But what happens is that he goes browsing through Giorno's room. He's like, oh shit. If he finds out with the lighter, I'm pretty much screwed. So he put it, like, obviously tried to put it in his room. There are certain tasks that, like, people will help Giorno, even like an outside world, where he would pretty much have to keep it lit from like anything, like from a simple breeze to pretty much people ask him to do certain tasks, etc., etc. So theirs is pretty much his whole light of where it comes to Giorno, and pretty much, you know, this whole thing. So pretty much this whole episode was Giorno just trying to gain the trust of the actual boss leader himself. But then all of a sudden there was a mistake. So while he was trying to do his best mission with Koichi, you know, not only that, but the very end where the janitor that, you know, is the property of the dorms that Giorno's staying for his school, or I guess, yeah, pretty much, where he's there, what happens is that, you know, all of a sudden, you know, the janitor's like cleaning or like watering. He's pretty much like cleaning whatever, and he's using the hose. And what happens is that, well, he pretty much gets the lighter where he like drops it, and oh shit, it actually goes out. But in reality, it's like, oh no, it's just the gas light thing that's pretty much running. But in reality terms, we see a stand that just pops out like, yo! And I know the name of the stand, because especially since I read the manga, I know the name to the stand. And holy crap, I really did love the way they ended this episode off. And, you know, I really felt so bad, man. I felt bad for that old man that pretty much just got, like, killed off, though. Which really does suck, though. It really does suck that that old man pretty much got killed off, though, at the very end, though. Which really does suck, because... which sucks, though, because I was expecting pretty much, you know, yeah, so I was expecting pretty much more when it comes to basically that. Like, it really sucks, though, that how he just pretty much got, like, killed off pretty much. And then the stand is like, yo, like, you're the one that actually had that fire. Like, so it was you that actually kept the fire, that let the fire go out. Because, like, look, you know what? I'm going to give you only one more chance, but I'm going to have to injure you first. So I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to have to injure you first. I'm giving you one last shot. If you screw this up, and if only if you screw this up, then you're going to die. So that's basically, and it looks like that the stand is going to be attacking Giorno as well, and that's where the episode ends off. Overall, this was, again, like, so tense and so dark. I love the way they actually did the boss. He's, like, so demonic, especially if I remember in the manga, with his eyes actually being, like, much different. But the way they did in the anime... props to David Productions. Just props to them. Holy shit. So, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to... yeah, like, when it comes to this episode of Golden Wind overall. Overall, when it comes to this episode, very intense. Animation, once again, will... except for one scene, though. Which is the face scene, obviously, which of course I don't know what the hell. That's one little slip I'll give David Productions, but just really everything else was so beautiful. It's just that one scene, and people made a meme out of it where like they forgot to have Jojo's eyes. It was actually really funny. Like his eyes wasn't there, and like the nose. I'm just like, what? Did they just obviously just forget to put that in the final print? But that's whatever though. That was like the only thing. Other than that, everything else was just fine. Everything else was great. Overall, it's another 5 out of 5. Another yo. Like, honestly, part 5 right now is looking top tier. And now you know why. Now you know why that JoJo's Golden Wind is the top tier part of the actual JoJo's. Because the intensity, and don't get me wrong, there are some lighthearted stuff in there too, don't get me wrong, but it's mainly like a lot of darkness as well, especially when we get introduced to later characters into this actual part, and you'll find out why. So yeah, overall, outstanding quality, man. I just loved it. It was so tense, man, and I really felt bad for Giorno that he would literally have to go through this. It's like, oh, okay, I can see why something like this could be actually pretty hard, especially because you probably won't get no sleep after that. So yeah, overall, very outstanding episode once again. JoJo's, you are on a roll with quality episodes, man. I'm glad he ever returned. Also, that opening still kicks a lot of ass. Still love that opening. So very, and that ending, I actually got used to that ending now. You know, the ending song, I got used to it after a while, and I absolutely just love it. Absolutely love it. Now I actually had the full song on blast. Same with the opening, I got the full version on my phone. Like, that's like the most songs I will listen to now are the Golden opening, the Golden endings, and yeah. So overall, that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below of this week's episode of JoJo's Golden Wind episode 3. And I will see you guys next week for episode 4. Things are really starting to get intense, and that was so cool. Like, that stand, like, yo! I know what that stand is, too. I know what that stand is because I did read the manga, so I know what the name of it. I'm not spoiling it for anime onlys. I'm not spoiling it, but oh my god, I really can't wait. So yeah, until then, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, click that bell, join the squad, boys. Follow my social media plugins, my gamer tags as well. And if you haven't, please join the Plus Ultra Discord down below as well. And until then, peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky is the limit. And manga fans, keep supporting Rich Read what you watch. And yeah, that's it. See you on the next one. Bye.